organized by the School of Media and Communication. I am Raya, a final-year student, and this is an initiative taken forth by us, final-year event management students from Manipal Academy of Higher Education. This is the first of a kind series, and it is designed to highlight the work of individuals and organizations who are making a difference in the world through their commitment to sustainability, through which we hope to bring awareness to the COP28 summit to be held this November. And for our very first guest, we have invited Ms. Amruta Kshemkalyani. Ms. Amruta is a sustainability educator and entrepreneur. She is the founder of Sustainability Tribe, a platform that informs users about climate change and generates demand for sustainable solutions. She is also the founder of AK Sustainability Advisory, assisting companies with capacity building and ESG consulting services. Ms. Amruta has also founded the Zero Waste Social Initiative, UAE, which aims to promote zero waste practices. Over and above that, she has been featured in numerous international media outlets, including The Guardian, BBC, Expo TV for Expo 2020, and CNN, just to name a few. We are honored to have her with us today. I also extend my warm welcome to the students present and chairpersons and faculty. With that, I would like us all to welcome her on stage with a round of applause.
Hello. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me. I'm glad to be here and very excited to introduce you to Sustainability Tribe. So I am, you already heard, I'm a sustainability consultant, originally a mechanical engineer. And I started my career as a sustainability consultant in 2008. At that time, people hardly knew what the word sustainability is. And my job, in my first job, was make a building, entire building. If you know Rosewood Hotel in Abu Dhabi, that's my first project. So make that building a sustainable building, green building. And I was hired as a sustainability engineer, and the company who hired me, they had no idea. So the management and HR department, they asked me, what are you going to do? Can you write down your job profile? Are you going to write only a report and make this building sustainable? And I told them, no, that's not how it works. So there were very few certified sustainability consultants in the Middle East at that time. I'm one of the first 5 ones in the Middle East. And so I wrote my job profile. We figured out what could be my visa in Arabic. So they figured out something related to BR, which is environment. And they gave me a visa of BR Mudir or something like that. So it was very early time at that time. People didn't understand. They were not happy me changing their designs. For example, MEP engineers not happy that I'm going to check their design and make changes. Supply chain not happy that I'm going to check the the materials they are going to submit and approve them. Site people were not happy that I'm going to walk through the site, supervise and make changes or maybe stop the construction. So it was a very difficult time for me, and back then a young girl trying to fit in to this already established construction industry, trying to bring the change which was required, and I was hired for that. So every day used to be heated discussions, difficulty, you could imagine. I have heard on that project from one of the top boss that I'm building buildings before you were born, and you are asking me to change the way we work. And I said, yes. I said to him, yes, sir, you hired me for that, and that's my job, and I will do it. So it was very difficult. Why I'm telling you this, that it was such a new kind of a concept at that time, and daily I had a lot of pressures in terms of how do I deliver my daily work, because I didn't want to just get paid and get scared of all the big boys out there. So I basically decided to make change about this entire situation in my own way. So one of the things which I did was, apart from training and hosting very regular trainings, people were not very happy. They were like, we don't have time, Amruta, giving you 1 hour every now and then listening to climate change and sustainability. It was very far-fetched topic for them. So I decided to solve a problem by writing blogs. That was the time when social media was not even very popular at that time. Instagram, all those things were not even there. So I started writing simple blogs, making people aware what climate change is, how it's going to affect you, your children, and your jobs. And that's how Sustainability Tribe was born, a very humble blog. And over the last 14 years, it basically organically moved into a social enterprise. It became an urban grassroots movement. And it's a very interesting journey, and also it is very relevant in terms of how the market, Middle Eastern markets, have been, responding to this topic of climate change, and now you are hearing sustainability, ESG, all of these topics. And I have seen that transition. So one of the things I really believe, and I would like to mention because we have the students here in the audience, sometimes you are in a position that you are able to see, able to have a long-term vision because of your, let's say, I was, like I mentioned, one of the first certified sustainability consultant, and throughout those education and those career building opportunities, I saw that there is this opportunity. However, people were not able to see that opportunity. Either they were not taking that education or they were not interested in that topic. So sometimes you are in a position where you are able to see something very long term, and then it becomes very intimidating for you that, okay, I am seeing all of this. Rest of the colleagues, the society I am in, or the people I'm working with are not seeing that. But I'm able to spot that particular opportunity, or I'm able to see the gap. What do I do about it? And one of the things which I did, also it comes from my own passion. I'm a very avid environmentalist. Grew up in a place where, for you guys, when you get bored over the weekend, what do? You might be going to malls, you might be playing video games. My weekend used to be going for a hiking because we didn't have anything else around us. So going to the rivers and hiking and camping and camping in the caves, that's how I grew up. It feels a bit funny, right? It was a city. However, I still had an opportunity to have this very close connection with nature. And I think my passion rooted over there. One of the things, going back to the topic, when you feel lonely or trying to do something, one of the things we all need to do is, when we are in that situation, keep going on, believe in yourself. And that's exactly what happened with Sustainability Tribe. So when I started Sustainability Tribe back in 2008, 2009, people used to tell me, who is going to read about your blog, about bringing sustainable lifestyle in a place like Dubai. Dubai is like this high life and very consumeristic ideas over here, aspirations for all the brands and all the best of the lifestyle. Who is going to listen to you? And I thought, this is a requirement in this market. No one else is doing it. I have to do it. I can see. And there was this advantage of passing on those articles to my colleagues, top management, my developers, the engineers, architects I was working with, trying to inspire them. And it worked. So over the period of time, what happened with Sustainability Tribe is we are one of a pioneering social enterprise. What does that mean? It's a privately owned organization. However, it's a social enterprise. What do we do? Is our goal through Sustainability Tribe is educating society, civil societies, business communities about sustainability, climate change, and climate actions, and inspiring the change in the society, behavior change. Behavior change in terms of lifestyle. So you could see maybe the impacts, one of the slide we have. So we have around 500,000 people in our tribe. We do have, if you go to Sustainability Tribe website, you can see the impacts, what our community have done over last 14 years. So the amount of water saved, amount of tons of waste diverted from landfill, or the amount of energy saved, it's really a surprising figure even for me, because it's very humbling to see when you are trying to educate the society, they are responding to it and they are actually making change in their lifestyle. So one of a very interesting story I always mention is one day I was in Union Corp buying some vegetables and such for my household, and I lead a sustainable zero-waste lifestyle for all these years in the UAE. And I was actually buying vegetables in reusable bags, and one Emirati lady wearing that traditional, I don't know what you call it, but the traditional accessory, she walked up to me and she said, "Are you that lady who educated students in King's School?" And I'm like, "Yes." I thought she's a bit angry because I'm holding up the queue. You know, the attendant needs to, open the bag, check inside, and then wait. So it's a bit difficult as compared to the plastic bags. So I first told her, "I'm sorry if I'm holding the queue, but I need to do this." And she's like, no, but I need to tell you, because of you, now my son doesn't allow me to buy plastic bags. And I'm like, okay, that's very nice. That's kind of a fruit, even a small change like that in our household. It's very inspiring for me, motivating for me, when I have been educating society or had that goal, and people used to laugh at me that you, this sustainability engineer, is aspiring to change the world. People used to say, no, this is not going to work, who is going to lead, who is going to respond? But these sort of small changes, and that's what actually brings the behavioral change in society. And that's what we have been aiming on Sustainability Tribe all these years. So one of the things what we do is we do have certain programs and initiatives. We have Zero Waste UAE initiative. We have ambassadors program. I would love for you to actually participate in our ambassador program. It's actually again a pioneering social education program we have on Sustainability Tribe. So what do we do? Any of you, it could be students, it could be professionals, it could be housewife, it could be anyone, to be honest. Whoever is able to read, basically all of them, could participate in our ambassador program. The program runs on the principle of act, learn, and share. What does it mean? In the ambassador program, there are different categories of programs as per your interest. So we have one for water, one for energy, one for waste, one for travel, fashion, whatever topic of interest it could be. So you join the program and you will start receiving steps where you learn about how to make changes in that particular topic. So if you choose a topic of energy, it will teach you basically how you are going to save energy or conserve the energy during your either at home or during your lifestyle. And once you learn, you have to act accordingly. So for example, in zero waste, there is one simple step, recycle. So learn about it and actually act on it. Once you acted on it, you have to come back and share or report back to us what have you done through social media sharing. Why social media sharing? Because we want you to actually share your learnings on your social media. That way you would be able to inspire your friends, colleagues, whoever there on your social media basically. Because you will be talking about your step over there. And once you basically learned, acted and reported back, you complete the challenge. In such way, there are up to 7-8 challenges in every program. Once you complete all the challenges, you will be becoming an ambassador. So once you become our ambassador, particularly for people who are interested in career in sustainability. It's very good for them. So we have had previously one professional working in oil and gas industry. She became our ambassador and she actually changed her career. She is now working into a sustainability field. So this is what you could expect. Or for students, you could have an opportunity of becoming our intern or join as a particular role in Sustainability Tribe, or even my consulting business, aka Sustainability Advisory. So one of the best part about this is it's free for everyone. So this education is free, and the idea behind this is making quality sustainability education accessible for anyone. So we do have ambassador joining from around the world. However, it's actually created for Middle Eastern audience because this is where we are, and this is where we want to bring the impacts. So apart from the ambassador program, you could also volunteer. Can we go back to the slide? Then we have Sustainability Tribe membership as well as Academy. Academy is basically a better version of ambassador program, I will say. But there you will get the access to proper topics. So it could be sustainable development goal reporting. You want to understand what is that. Particularly for entrepreneurs, it's very useful. Or for this particular audience, I have a masterclass called Sustainable Communication and Marketing Masterclass. So that masterclass you can access there. These courses, online courses and ebooks are very affordable. So almost the price of one coffee because we basically develop these academy courses and ebooks with the help of experts in the industry. So that is another program we have. And we have membership that's particularly for businesses. We do have individual membership as well, particularly for startups and ecopreneurs. If anyone has a business idea, and particularly a sustainable business idea, and they don't know what to do about it, how to develop it, how to launch it. So we have helped many startups in the UAE, providing them mentorship and launching and developing the entire sustainable business model with that. So these are some of our programs. Apart from that, basically, I would just like to welcome you to the portal of Sustainability Tribe. Try and read, there is a huge free resource about the sustainable lifestyle, climate change, all the relevant topics. Particularly this year of sustainability, COP28 is coming, and I can see a lot of traction, not only in industries, but even in the civil societies or societies. So you would get to learn a lot over there. So much is the popularity of Sustainability Tribe in the Middle East that last year we were hacked from the town next to COP27 happening in Egypt. And this year again we are hacked at the moment and working on it because we are the largest sustainability resource in the Middle East. So hold on, if you are joining just for 2-3 days, we are about to finish off our fixing the virus and all the topics at the moment on the website. But go ahead and definitely join the volunteering. It's an external form. So again, if we go back to the volunteering, so for the volunteers, we are looking for volunteers from the youth and the universities, particularly for COP-related events. So if you want to join as a volunteer, and if you really want to get selected, because we do receive a huge amount of interest, so our selection process basically, that's where the ambassador program helps. So whoever has completed the ambassador program, it is easy for us to choose them because we are sure they have learned, acted, and they are educated at certain level of sustainability. So definitely complete the ambassador program, and that's after that you will be sure that you are getting selected as a volunteer or intern, particularly in upcoming events and programs. So I think that's it. If you have any question about Sustainability Tribe, feel free to ask me whenever as per the program. But even for the businesses or any other sustainable business ideas, feel free to connect with me. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That was quite insightful to know about your passion for your work. I would like to welcome our CEO, Mr. Niranjan Kumar. Thank you for being here today. Now I would like to call upon Rida, a final year event management elective student, who will take forth the interview and Q&A session.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, everybody. My name is Rida. I'm very thrilled to meet you all over here. I'm very thrilled to meet you too. What do you mean by the term sustainability? What do you understand by the term sustainability?
In one word?
Yes. Or you can probably explain that a little.
Okay, in one word, I would say survival. That's what sustainability is. And to elaborate or explain, one of the things we all need to understand is all our industries and the world, how it is working with the industrial revolution. All of our resources have been coming either from the natural capital, which is environment. So even to grow food, we need photosynthesis, sun and the soil.
Yes.
For clothes, we need, cotton and whatnot. So natural capital or human capital. So for service industries, most of the time service industries, they say we don't make any products, but you do need people, and that's the human capital. So natural capital and human capital are the topics without which none of the business on the earth can survive, none of us can earn money or do anything basically. And this is exactly why sustainability is important, because our natural capital and human capital, looking at the social equity, at the moment we are facing difficulties, political instability in Middle East, we all are aware, and it affects the social capital. So sustainability is a way forward, because in sustainability, natural capital and social capital is considered as much value as a financial capital or infrastructure, and that's why sustainability or ESG is basically for us to survive longer on this planet. That's how it is.
Okay. Behind you can see the words that everyone's typed. There's recycle, eco-friendly, environmentally friendly, tranquility. All of these different words that people have, I think they understand by the term sustainability. Coming back to your organization, which is Sustainability Tribe, which is a female-led organization. How did you come about the idea of starting an organization that's completely female-led, and what was the motivation behind it?
Talking about female-led, one of the things when I started working or going even before the sustainability work I have done, I'm a mechanical engineer, and I have always been in the world of male-dominated environment. When I was studying back in India, I was the only girl, and there were 99 or 98 boys in my class. Always, wherever I was going, I was only one woman, one girl, trying to figure out. I didn't even have a mentor, because all the mentors I tried to reach throughout my career were always men. And men, they tried to help me, but they couldn't really, they couldn't even understand what my barriers, challenges are as a woman. So I think it created a lot of challenges for me, but also it empowered me so much. Basically, when you don't know, when you don't have anyone to guide you, you have to figure out your way, right? When you are in the water, you have to float. And that's how I kind of realized that a woman, even without a guidance and mentorship, if they can thrive and survive, they could lead as well. So that's how it happened.
That's a wonderful initiative, to be honest. Then, today actually marks a very important day, which is the 10th International Girl Child Day. So, how would you be telling, because we've heard this a lot, women face the brunt of climate change and etc. How would you say, as females or women, how do we take initiatives to make sure that we are taking in sustainable initiatives and the small steps that we can take in our daily lifestyles? How would you tell us to go ahead about that?
In terms of sustainability field, especially sustainable consumption side of it, actually women have a huge power. I'm sorry I'm not able to actually point out exactly research paper not coming top of my head, but you can Google it. So as per the responsible consumption research, women, because most of the household, women are the ones who are actually doing the shopping, grocery shopping and whatnot. We are empowered that way, that we are the ones who are deciding what consumption to be done. And throughout the earth, women have been leading the sustainable consumption and lifestyle field of it because of their role as a mother and a housewife and whatnot, even for working women. But coming back to the industry, I think women are still not represented enough, or the women who are already out there working are still not voicing enough their opinions. And that's why in ESG you see the gender equality which is enforced. And I have particularly seen businesses, because I work with businesses through my consulting and their boards. I've seen women sitting at the board, however still not voicing their opinions. So I think women empowerment is a much bigger topic, and we all have a role to play, men and women all. So I think voicing yourself, believing in yourself, and without hesitation, that's one of the primary thing all of us need to do, all of the women particularly need to do. Believe me, there are so many men I have seen who voice without hesitation, no offense to all the men. And sometimes I wonder, this guy has no idea at all. But I have seen really very educated women, very substance women not voicing their opinion, and that's why I'm mentioning this.
Okay, that's actually true. I've seen that myself a lot. So here's the thing: we know about sustainability through media and everything. How do you think media has helped in promoting sustainability previously, and how would you like to use it further in your organization as well?
I do have a very interesting relation with media. Media has helped me a lot, basically spreading awareness. Through media only I could reach to the wider audience, and that's how sustainability has gained credibility throughout the world, not just in the Middle East, thanks to the media coverage. However, there is a lot of short-termism in the media. Because a lot of the media outlets or a lot of the media professionals, without gaining enough awareness and knowledge about sustainability, they basically focus only on the promotion and marketing side of it. And that comes to the greenwashing aspect. So I think for media and communication, they have a great role. Rather, they have undeniable role in our world. But they need to give enough attention to gain proper knowledge, so that they are not without knowing, because a lot of the time without knowing they are actually contributing to greenwashing. So I think this will be, the problem will be solved if they give enough importance to learn about the sustainability and ESG. It's not rocket science, but it's a science.
So, like I said, we, like everyone sitting in this room, don't know about sustainability through media. What about the generations that don't know about sustainability? Because they don't even know the term, like what does sustainability mean? The previous generations. How would you go about explaining sustainability to them, making sure that they implement it in their daily lives? Because you can see that the generations previous to us are very stubborn and they might not listen to us. So how do you go about doing that?
That generation, the previous generation, they are still very powerful because they are still board members, they are the decision makers still.
Yes.
We still have them, right? And thanks to them, we haven't reached the bold actions yet. But one of the things, that particular generation we are talking about, maybe even before me, who are decision makers and didn't have access to this knowledge. To be very honest, the entire sustainability field, ESG field is still developing. Even if I'm an expert, I don't like to call myself expert because I'm still learning every day, believe me. It's a developing phase, developing field. And going back to the whole, you will hear me saying this word particularly again and again, industrial revolution. That's where the capitalist economy model, our economy model is based on that. And our education system is also based on the capitalist economy model. So our education system is still struggling to figure out how to integrate sustainability and ESG knowledge or knowledge giving within the education system. And that's why I think that particular generation, because they didn't have access to this information, they have learned all their life's contribution through their career and education is very capitalist economy model basis. So they won't understand. They understand only figures. So whenever I'm talking to that particular generation or those sort of crowd, I have to go back to the figures. And there is enough research available showing how sustainability or ESG is a great business case, how much data is available, how much profit could happen, how much cost of running operation could be reduced, etc. Energy saving, water saving, all those figures are available. So I think we need to go back to those figures. Yeah.
Okay. So you've spoken about figures, so that brings me to the next question, which is the business aspect of it. Like you said, you're a consultant and you help other businesses go ahead and make sustainable choices. So I would like to ask you, what structure or how do you come about suggesting a company to become more sustainable as they're like growing and etc. So how would you do that?
This is again a very vast topic, because if you look in the market, there are different category of businesses out there. One highest category is global multinational corporates who have offices around the world. Then there are family businesses in the Middle East, which are Middle Eastern companies. Then you have SMEs, small, medium scale startups. So the businesses are basically varied out of all of these. How I work with businesses. So if a company is new, it's a startup or a SME which is just forming, there is a huge opportunity of making the sustainable business model more sustainable business model. There is a proper way of doing it. Unfortunately, we still don't have enough awareness in the market on that. But it's really lovely to work with startups, because you have an opportunity to make that business sustainable right from the start. But what about their impact is very little as compared to all the big businesses out there. So multinational corporates or big businesses, basically how do we work with them is we start with strategizing how to integrate sustainability or ESG within the business. The business needs to understand what are their risks and opportunities. So there are certain ways, you might have heard materiality analysis they do in the ESG, start of the ESG. So first, business needs to understand what have been their impacts, negative and positive. Everyone, all of us, even individually, have negative and positive impacts on the society and environment. And businesses have that in much larger pools, right? So they need to understand and be honest to understand what are their impacts, what are their future risks, and if their risks can be converted into opportunities. So, simple example, fashion businesses after the Rana Plaza incidents, they realized they need to adopt sustainability, and they realized that there is an opportunity of launching sustainable lines for their products. So this could be the opportunity. The business needs to become sustainable. What could go into it? Not just the strategies, but the execution, and execution throughout their different departments. So the business can become sustainable only when the business model is sustainable, when their operations are sustainable, when their offerings, product services are sustainable, their supply chains are sustainable. What you are hearing is scope 1, scope 2, scope 3, greenhouse gas emission, extremely important, but it's not enough, because it doesn't take care of the circularity, circular economy, waste related aspect. It doesn't take care of the biodiversity aspect. It doesn't take care of the social aspect of their employees and stakeholders. So all of these, it's a vast topic, and that's why I'm mentioning that it's still developing. Middle East is much behind as compared to Europe if you look at the ESG. However, Europe hasn't even figured out how to incorporate all of these aspects yet. and we are in this, I like to call it, we are in this disruption phase. We are very lucky, all of us, to be in this phase, because this is where all the new bright ideas could be brought, implemented, and most importantly, IPCC, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, their report have particularly said we have enough resources, research, technologies available to solve all these crises, not just climate change, the hunger, social equality, all of this. We have everything. However, going back to the generation of those, the political willingness, the business leaders, they are still not adopting the bolder action. So we have everything, it's possible to solve these problems within our lifestyle, within our lifetime, not style. However, we need the bold action and the acceleration. And that's why it comes back to the education. I think we all need to understand why we need to do it, how we need to do it, and the technicalities of it. Yeah.
That's a very detailed answer. I really like it. Just because we are an educational institute, so how would you go and suggest us as well to become sustainable? As you can see, like we're holding an event, but that's not just the basis of it. So we need more. How do we implement being sustainable more?
Yeah. So I actually have been working with UNESCO's Green Education Partnership. I'm one of the partners, and at that level, we are developing a standard for greening education. So greening education is all the schools, universities, all the education sector, private, public, all of it under it. And the standards, what we are developing is going to be a guideline for entire planet to follow for the education system. So one of there are 4 pillars of it. One of which is greening schools. I have actually worked on a few university green building projects. And it's very interesting, even during those projects and after the schools were opened, I saw how there is a communication or entire gap or lack of sustainability. When the school is handed over to the university, while running, they are not even paying attention to the sustainability features which we installed. They could have educated their teachers and staff, and so there is this gap. So the greening schools, then greening curriculum. So in the curriculum, how do we incorporate not just sustainable development goal, but entire sustainability ESG education. Then there is greening teachers. So basically, how do we upskill the teachers and professors and the education delivery staff? And the 4th pillar is greening community. So basically, the students and the teachers and the schools. So schools have been a very inseparable part of communities around the world, right? We all agree to it. Every school creates their own family, their passed out students, their families, their businesses, all of it. So the school actually, if you look at the big picture, school has the biggest power of influencing community. So how can we do that? So these are the 4 pillars we are working on.
I really like the last one where you said the school has the biggest power in implement, which is very true. Because when you start learning from the beginning, I think you implement it in further in your life. So coming actually to a very disputed yet largely believed statement, which is sustainability is reserved for the wealthy and rich. So what would you like to tell about the statement? And if you say that the statement is wrong, how would you tell us as ordinary people, how do we implement sustainability in our ordinary lives? Small steps, probably.
Firstly, I entirely disagree with this sentence, and I have been hearing for years, believe me, I have been hearing it because of these 2 roles of working in the industry and with the society. I have been hearing from everyone, and I do not agree with it, and I have a very concrete answer if anyone is interested in any figures. So most importantly, sustainability is not an elite topic at all. Unfortunately, because of the lack of policies, lack of willingness, and lack of bold actions, it feels like that for the new people who are new to this field. It feels that buying sustainable product is costly. Businesses, my clients tell me that integrating sustainability in our businesses is costly. It's at every level, everyone feels that way. And that's where the problem comes in picture, the lack of education. People are not aware, and that's why they make this presumption. Many businesses who are calling themselves sustainable business and selling quote unquote sustainable products costlier are not sustainable. If you ask me, I can actually tell you how they are not unsustainable. Sustainable products shouldn't be costly at all, because if you are integrating sustainability properly within your business and then creating a product, then your product shouldn't be costly. However, what they do, they create half-baked sustainable product. They invest into a lot of marketing or some other channels, and they self-announce that we are sustainable, and they don't even give you enough information if you go back to them and ask them what are the greenhouse gases, or where is the origin of your material. We don't have access to that information from businesses, do we? So if they become transparent, we will come to know that their product is not sustainable. So a lot of the time they see the opportunity that let's call our product sustainable and put a price tag higher. That's not true, and we need to change it. And we all have a big collective role through our work and through our consumer power. So, and that's how I look at it. Through our work, where I have been working with my clients as a consultant, that's what we look into, that how do we bring sustainability with a proper cost. There are so many passive ideas of making a business sustainable without having a front-loaded cost in that, and there are so many ways of being living a sustainable lifestyle without cost. One of the example I would like to tell you is most of the cleaning products I don't buy. I make it at home, and I'm very busy working mother running 2 businesses. If I could do it, you could do that too. Learn bioenzymes. There are so many easy and simple ways of bringing sustainability and actually reducing your cost. I can literally promise you, all of our ambassadors have reported back their energy bills, water bills, the reduction in that. Believe me, even I was impressed. I was like, whoa, wow, this is a big impact our ambassadors are doing. So there are proper ways of bringing sustainability in your personal life or within your work. Especially, I am seeing the future generation. Do embrace whatever your interest. If you are going to be a filmmaker, you can convert the filmmaking process into more sustainable one, and I can help you with that. Any path you choose for your career, there is always a possibility of integrating sustainability to reduce cost, and that's how it should be. And yeah, unfortunately, but media needs to promote it.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be promoting more. More series coming up. So, okay, you in the beginning mentioned how you started your career making buildings sustainable and how you went about it, yeah? So that aspect is very inspirational, by the way. We have a school of design and architecture here in MAHE Dubai. So if you could suggest how they could, like the architectural students, how they could probably invest in making their buildings more sustainable, that would be probably a little insightful.
I think, I don't know if Bhakti is here or not in the audience. I know her personally well. Because she's also in sustainability. I have actually came there as an external assessor for that department as well.
Okay.
And they are doing good work.
Yes.
So I'm glad to kind of mention that here. They are running some sustainability focused courses as well. But there is always more and more opportunity. There are always, looking at the Manipal University over here, I could suggest a lot of options of making your building more sustainable and green, even without changing the architecture, because it's an existing building, right? We can always retrofit it. So there are always ways, and whatever the building is at a stage, if the building is already constructed, yes, we can still make it more sustainable. If the building is at the design stage, construction stage, refurbishment, all of these aspects. So, for buildings, it's much straightforward than business, I would say. Because for buildings, what you look at is energy, water, materials. It's much, and it's very environmental focus, the buildings. However, I personally feel, because within the built environment sector, the construction industry, I have been voicing this as well, that we need to focus a lot on the social aspect as well. Because, for example, if we make this building sustainable, let's say, but if students are not aware, if your cleaning staff is not aware what changes we may be made, then we are not going to continue getting the benefits of making a building sustainable. So we need to incorporate the education and trainings. So yeah, I won't be touching on a lot of the things because I could talk about it 2 hours.
Sure. Okay. So, just last question, I'll be wrapping up over here. So, like you said, you've been in this industry for 16 years. So, you've seen it evolve, you've seen the past, you've seen the present, and you'll be probably seeing, inshallah, the future as well. So, how do you expect, what is the expectations you have from the future generations? What do you want the future to be like in the terms of sustainability? And what do you have any expectations from us as students to implement, as students, what should we be doing in the future to make sustainability more known, something that's more understood by people?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and I would like to say one thing is, don't repeat the mistakes we have done or our past generations have done. So as the world started to understand and accept climate change and all the crises, other global crises, slowly the world or countries and entities like United Nations, they developed the frameworks like Paris Agreement, where countries came and signed, and after that we started seeing the traction in the industries. Then Sustainable Development Goals. Now ESG is there. We are developing these frameworks to fix the problem. However, we are still missing out a very big aspect of holistic management of everything. What it means is looking at the entire system. I always keep on talking about system thinking a lot, because that is missing at the moment in our progress of sustainability, ESG, all of these aspects. Is people are still looking at isolated topics of the sustainability. So, for example, how to put it in right words. So, for example, you are a marketing, media and communication department, and definitely media and communication is your priority. However, media and communication department will have a bigger role in the entire Manipal University, right? So that is called system thinking, looking at a system as a whole. So prioritizing your own aspects along with bringing the entire big picture support in picture, and that is missing in the sustainability at the moment. Education, awareness, that is the only way forward. And I think the future generation definitely, my favorite quote, I always say that every event I'm going to the any educational sector event, for my generation, the professors would agree here. For us, when we were in the school, computer literacy used to be a survival skill for us. All of our teachers, all of our parents used to tell us that you need to learn about some computer related things, I'm going back to a very basic word of it. But, and then we saw how, in the offices, our previous generation actually had to learn Word, Microsoft, Excel, right? Because before that, they used to use the typewriters and whatnot. So they had to learn, and it was a survival skill for them. If they didn't learn it, they lost their jobs. For your generation, sustainability is going to be your survival skill. Whatever field you are going in, whatever role you are going to take in, and that's how it's going to be. Because the amount of the world, the speed with which the world is moving towards it, and I still have complained that we are slow. But the speed our world is going to transform into adopting these sustainability practices, wherever you are going to work, whichever field, you need to have proper understanding, otherwise you are the one who are going to lose out, or maybe repeat our mistakes. So there is no way, it's a survival skill for you.
Okay. I know I said that I'll wrap it up. I just wanted to ask one question as you asked, as you said that you'd probably suggest if a filmmaker is saying that they'll probably do a sustainable movie, like so they can make the entire process of making a movie sustainable. Just few ideas. How would you suggest students, because we have BFT over here, Bachelor's in Film and everything, television. So how would you go around and suggest them to go and make their production sustainable?
I don't have a lot of guidance on top of my head because I need to understand to give you really practical solutions. But few things I could suggest is, for example, the production process. It will have certain, wastages happening, either your props or your materials or your energy, water, some kind of things with the traditional way of working, right? You could figure out how you could, incorporate reusable props or how your energy could be saved. Other aspect, for example, if you're going to locations, there is an environmental impact on those locations. Can you do something about it? Can you protect the environment, or can you improve the environment? Yeah, if you would need people, your actors, I don't know, but people, right? Or when you are going to locations and you are working, their community is getting affected by your activities, then how can you actually get them on board, create value for them? So sustainability, in short, is basically creating value for humans and environment. So instead of just taking from them, are you giving back to them as well? So there are many opportunities, and every movie, whatever the topic of the movie, niche of the movie could be, can always comment on, our, like, if not incorporated in the story itself, but at the end or somewhere, you could always proudly comment, give a message to the viewers. So you have an opportunity, people are going to watch your creation. So use that power and, to ignite someone.
That's a wonderful way of probably reaching out to people. So that's all from me. I've had all my questions answered. I'm going to keep the floor open for the audience. If they have any questions, please go ahead and ask.
I have a question. What is ESG?
Okay, thank you for that, and I'm very sorry I did not mention it at the start. Sustainability professional, giving a talk, I kind of consider everyone must be knowing, but my apologies. ESG is environmental, social, and governance. So any business at the moment, big corporates, they need to incorporate environmental, social, and governance aspect to their business to make sure they are incorporating social and environmental sustainability into their business. Now, for example, any new business who is trying to become a more sustainable business, they go out to the financial institutes and ask for the funding request, right? So around the world, basically all our businesses need investment in a very simple, let me come down to very simple explanation of it. So any business on the earth, if it's a small self-funded business, you don't need investment, but you are not going to grow into a bigger business. So any business which needs to get established, grow, and earn more money, you need investors. And now, around the world, and even Middle East this year, we are seeing that investors around the world are now asking companies, you need to show us your ESG, environmental, social governance as in, how they are governing their own company. You need to show us ESG framework, adaptation, or your performance. And if you are reaching certain level of ESG, then only we are ready to invest into your business. So it's a beautiful way of forcing everyone to incorporate sustainability. Unfortunately, government's force or imposing sustainability is not enough. Investors' pressure is more driving the industries. So if you please look up whatever terms you need to get familiarized, because in Hollywood the movie making industry is also incorporating ESG, and it will come down to you as well, right? So any industry, any business for that matter needs to have ESG if you need to have investors. Currently, not every investor is asking for it, but by the time you reach my age, you will see every investor asking for it. Yeah.
Hi, so do you have a success story of a business or individual that have adopted sustainable practice through your guidance?
I do have a lot of success stories. Individuals, our ambassadors are great examples, so definitely go to our ambassador page. You'll see the photos of some of our ambassadors over there. But businesses, I would love to mention a few businesses here. So I have worked with numerous businesses, the green building projects, like I mentioned. So the Rosewood Hotel, I told you, it's a green building. There are many projects. Hindu Temple in Abu Dhabi. I also led the sustainability design for that project, and Makers District in Abu Dhabi on the Reem Island, the big waterfront community. That is my project as well. A great success story. We have received some for some of my projects for sustainability outstanding work. We received recognition from Dubai government and Abu Dhabi Urban Planning Council as well. For the business sustainability or ESG, I have worked with many different businesses, big corporates like HSBC, logistics companies, different sector, food and beverages, hotels. One of my recent client is a global leader in consumer goods called Reckitt. So all the brands, all of us use their brands like Dettol, Strepsil, Harpic, and all those sort of consumer goods products are under the umbrella of Reckitt. And they reached out to me before starting the project, mentioning, because Reckitt's global headquarters is in the UK. Their Middle East branch reached out to me saying, our headquarters is doing a lot in terms of ESG and sustainability. However, we don't know what to do in the Middle East. So I ran a pilot ESG program with their Dubai office, and we actually saw in figures, again, figures are not top of my head, but it's with client, but we actually significantly reduced the cost of running for the Dubai office. We improved the wellness of employees through that project. We implemented a system of making employees aware about sustainability. Now they are more aware because they were like a big global, massive global corporation, and their employees are, we have something in the report, but it doesn't come to me, I don't know what to do about it. Now they are aware and they are actively participating in their regular sustainability. Sustainability culture is created into their Dubai office now. And we are rolling out that ESG pilot program in their entire Middle East, Africa, and Asia offices. So I do have a lot of success stories. I did not put it out there because this was more of an education activity than promotion. Yeah, thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. I had a question. What are the 3 pillars of sustainability?
Yeah, sustainability is environment, social, and economic. Again, going back to the same definition, what sustainability means is until now or until our society figured out why we need to do sustainability, we were focusing only on the economic aspect of the business or a country. So even now, country's success or if the country is developed or not is gauged against GDP, yeah, which is the economic factor. If a company is doing well or not is gauged against their revenue model, yeah, how much profit they are creating. So very, very economic, plainly, nothing else. But sustainability asks what the concept of sustainability is. Do not forget your natural capital and your social capital. So society and environment has to be. So throughout the Industrial Revolution started 150 years back. And what the human race did is we basically exploited our environment and our societies. The problems which we are facing are mostly created or came out of ignorance. So we need to stop the exploitation of environment and society, and that's what sustainability ESG is about.
What are some of the most impactful sustainability initiatives or projects done by sustainable tribes?
Yeah, okay. Sustainability Tribe has actually, we have two things going on. One is our collective impact on the society. So if you go to our homepage, you will see the amount of water, energy, I mentioned this, or saved by our community, our audience. That is, I think, one of the most collective because it goes into thousands, hundreds and thousands. Numbers are very big over the last 14 years. But with businesses, so our ongoing initiative with the society is we have been educating people. They adopt sustainable practices, and the figures you are saying is we actually hosted a survey of our community. We asked them to input their figures and their information about there is a proper calculation. So they had to mention what is their electricity bill or what changes they made in their home or something like that. So through the survey we collected data. So that is the impact on the society. But through our CSR initiative with the businesses, or CSR is still a very basic one, but the sustainability initiative. So we created a lot of sustainability initiatives with the businesses. There was one program called Green Ramadan with Emirates Global Aluminum, EGA. Then we did a sustainable quarantine program for HSBC during the lockdown. We did many such innovative out-of-the-box initiatives. We haven't really measured every time the impact. Now that you ask me, maybe we need to go back to our clients and give us figures so that we can flaunt them.
Yeah, hi. Let me congratulate you on this initiative, very beautiful initiative. I have a question. Do you reach out to the government? So do you sensitize government on various issues in Dubai? And there is a lot of food wastage, general perception that there is a lot of food wastage in Dubai, particularly in the restaurants and during the Ramadan time, etc. Do you have any, are you doing anything on that?
Thank you very much. So in terms of two questions, first is about governments. So yes, rather government reached out to us many years back. I'm not a media communication professional and I didn't know how these things work at that time. I learned a lot, to be honest. But I was just a sustainability professional and running this enterprise, and Ministry of Climate Change reached out to me saying, you have much bigger reach in the society than us, can you help us out? And this is how I have been helping many government departments. We have been, when the Green Economy Summit was launched, we supported in promoting that. IRENA, International Renewable Energy Agency, their headquarters is based in the Abu Dhabi. We partnered with them as well. Energy Institute in the UK. We have many partnerships globally as well, UNESCO, like I mentioned. And I think our reach to the community is very unique. And one of the factors is because I'm a sustainability consultant. A lot of the digital media focused on sustainability comes from non-sustainability experts. So I think that's where our USP is. So we have been forming, even at COP, we are going to have a presence. There are many, COP is still one event, but we have been forming partnership with international entities and governments. Second question was about food waste, yes. So for the food waste, we do have, within the ambassador program, we have a program particularly for food. So that program teaches you not just about food waste, you actually said it very correctly. The global statistic is this: if the food waste topic was a country, it would have been the third largest greenhouse emitting country. So food waste is a huge problem, and it's very ironic that our world is having such a food waste, and on the other side, we are facing the global world hunger topic and lack of nutrition even in developed countries. So the human wellness aspect is there. So the sustainable food, so going back to the topic of holistic approach to any topic. So the food waste is important aspect, but it's one isolated topic of the entire sustainable food system. So our ambassador program basically teaches you about the entire sustainable food system, and this food waste is incorporated within that. We have helped many businesses actually to reduce their food waste. We have installed composting to our suppliers, etc. At home, I compost. I've been composting for many years, and it's very doable in Dubai. If any of you personally are interested, there is video tutorial articles you can find about it. But thank you for this question.
Wait, one more.
Okay.
Do you do anything to raise fund for maybe like funding a research in this sustainability?
We need funding because it's a self-funded social enterprise. I didn't go and acquire, it's a license owned by me. I didn't acquire a non-profit license because for a non-profit there is a rule that you need to have certain board members coming on board. And from my experience within the industry, I do not want to dilute my cause. I do not want to dilute our message. I do not want to turn sustainability into revenue-focused business. So that's why I have kept it self-funded. So I need funding to run our operations. However, we do work with research companies a lot. Research institutes. Just recently, I might even form, I won't mention them, but we might even form a partnership with them. It's a Swedish research institute. And throughout my career, because of the sustainability track particularly and our reach to the society, I have been part of many research or helped many research institutes for the Middle Eastern focused research. And I would be happy if you have any research going on to give access to our community surveys, or I would be happy to form any kind of partnership to support research happening within the MAHE. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
If there are not many questions, then we can go ahead and hand it over to Raya.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Riva. With this, we come to an end for our very first event for the Sustainability Spotlight Series with our very first guest, Ms. Amruta Kshemkalyani. The session was an eye-opener, and I hope we can all be thoughtful consumers. I'd like to invite our school chairperson, Dr. Percy, to hand over a small token of appreciation to Amruta.
Thank you so much, and thank you for a thoughtful gift.